So I thought I'd pop in real quick for the next day reflections and of the third session. And I realized, we move through it so fast, which is one way of teaching, is just to pull you in, give you all kinds of experiences, feeling the struggle, a little bit of the pain, before to allow you to figure it out on your own, before I come in and say, okay, do this, 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 step by step. Because there's something about learning when you're given just enough tools that you can start exploring your own. So it was such a quick lesson last night. We covered a lot, drawing very quickly. So I want to take this time, 30 minutes, hopefully, and talk a little bit more about drawing a pyramid Santa. So one thing that's nice, if you can hold the object and you can look at it, if you're drawing a horse or a landscape, you can't. But because this is a still life, we can actually hold and look at the object. And something about it, it's made of tin or a metal of some sort. It's very geometric. It has straight lines. The only organic line is along the beard. It has some wavy lines to it. They're flat surfaces, so if we're doing cross contours, we would have mainly flat surface lines, straight lines. The beard has a little bit of texture to it, so that just to add some interest. If we look at the overall proportions, it's a tall, narrow pyramid. The head of it is at the top, and it's higher at the top of the pyramid. I'm not sure why I said that. Anyhow, so we're going to jump from 3D, which is what we worked with yesterday, and we're going to look at photocopy. So this is one artist trick that you can do, is a look at the object on a 2D surface, black and white. Now, the best way you can learn is from life. That's the best way you can learn. But it's okay to also utilize tools like this to be able to practice and play. So, and I think it'll be easier for me to for me to teach this. So we're doing it. All right, enough of that. And I'm going to switch the camera. Okay. So I'm working with this Santa right here. And I talked a little bit about measuring. And if I look at I want to look at the head of we'll look at the overall size of the Santa. So the width is about here. It's approximate there. And if I do 1, 2, about half. So if I establish the width, and I go and I put the base, I'm going to put the base down here so I have plenty of room. And if I go 1, 2, and I'm off the page. So I'm going to make it a little bit narrower. One, 2 and a half. So it goes up to about right here. This is all approximate measurements, and there. I'm drawing dark so that you can see it. When you draw, keep things light, okay? And I'm just going to lift that off real quick. All right. Now this is a pyramid, and something about him, this bend line, the center line, isn't directly in the center of the shape. It's offset. And it's offset a little bit because we see more of this side and less of that side. Do you see that? So within this box, this rectangle for this Santa, I'm going to offset. I'm not going to put the center line down the center. I'm going to offset this point a little bit. And then the base goes like this, like that. Then the line, we talked about this a little bit. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and run that offset center line right through here. What makes it a little bit odd is that the hat falls back a little bit, but I'll just adjust that later. Not worry about for now. I want to get my pyramid in and then I could shift it. Okay, I'll show you how to do that. So the head of the Santa, if I count into the height, I'm going to go to the shoulders, this break line right here. So 1, 2, 3, about 3.5. Let's do that again. So if I go down to the break point of the shoulders, about right here. 1, 2, 3, a little less than half. So how I do it here is if I just randomly pick a size, 1, 2, 3, that's not enough. That's not deep enough, long enough. 1, 2, 3, and about 3.5. So hold it. So here's the shoulders. That's about that point right there. Okay, if this is a ball, this tassel light, I'm going to keep it light because I'm going to shift that over. And I'm going to go down with the left side of the Santa and the right side. Yep. There we go. There we go. Now, just looking at to make sure it feels about right. So I'm feeling my way through the drawing right now. So the hat actually, it comes up and then bends back. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Now I'm just, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the beard comes down. Look at that. The beard is almost halfway down the Santa. I go from the top. It's halfway down the Santa. So the point of the beard I found a halfway point. There we go. It's about right to here. So the beard actually comes down to here. And then I probably have it back a little bit too much. There we go. There we go. And then the top of the mustache is about right here. Now I'm just going to kind of eyeball things. And I'm not going to get too... So I went from measuring just to get myself in the ballpark. And now I'm just going to... Now this seems a little bit long, but it's probably because this hat's a little bit too short. So I'll just adjust it down. So now I'm just going by feel. Go ahead and put the arms in. So I'm looking at the arms they go below the beard about right to here. So now I'm looking at the relative distance. And then one arm's like this. Then the other arm straight down. Like that. And it pops off the side of the Santa, which I think is interesting. So I think it got a little bit too wide, so now I'm going to adjust. Okay, I like that better. So do you see I'm adjusting as I'm doing these shapes? A couple of hands. There we go. It's hard to see the nose here, but the nose has like a piece of metal and it's flat on top. The nose goes all the way up. And the ball's pretty big. And the eyes are tucked underneath the nose. Okay. That mustache. You see the mustache? And then this one goes up. Okay. It's almost like the beard goes over the back of it. And if it drips down a little bit further, I'm okay with that. Okay. The eyes come down. The band goes up. The hat comes to point. And my hat, it looks a little bit stumpy. So I'll just adjust it. There we go, liking that. And now I'm going to put the details around the arms. And do you see how this surface and this surface, there's two surfaces there. You could put a little line there if you want. It's not necessary, but you can. And then just put some band detail. And then this one, there's a surface here and a surface here. So the line where this surface changes, about right there. This side's smaller, this side's bigger. Well, actually with it turned, they're about the same. I can put, these are holes. And then the band along the bottom. And then you could just decorate as you want. And then use these little details. There's something when you draw like this, the more lines you add into it, the more interest you add. So like this, if I add a second line around that, oops. I do the same thing here. Do you see how it kind of, this type drawing. Next week we'll do a different type drawing that you wouldn't do something like this necessarily with. But it's your drawing, so you could do as you wish. This heart over here, since it's turned, it's bigger on the right side. No, it's bigger on the left side of the heart. And it's, okay, see how it's not a flat heart, goes on an angle. And that's because I added these extra lines. I can do stuff, I can adjust it. And then real quick, 1, 2, 3. I'm just adding this as I wish. Here we go. There. So this gets you, we're getting that angle on the hat that we talked about. We're showing less on the left and more on the right because the Santa's turned. And I'm just going to just darken them up just a little bit more so that you can see them. You don't have to do this. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm doing it just so that you could see it on the camera. And that mustache is different on each side, so it's a little organic. And there we go. There we go. So that gets you a little bit more of a step-by-step. I started, I looked at the object, I assessed it, I made the box, the rectangle, I showed you how to measure for the proportions. I dropped the center line of the object, but since it shifted, it wasn't in the center of the rectangle, was shifted to the left a little bit. And then I started piecing, looking at the basic shapes within the object and looking at the relationships to them. And then at this point, draw light, because at this point, then you can start making adjustments and getting it to where you like it until it feels good. And with that, that's all we've got for now. Have fun, grab an object, take a picture, make a photocopy like I did, try to draw it from life like we did in studio, and then once you do that, then use the photocopy and try to do it there. Set a timer, draw it within 20 minutes. Don't go beyond that, because this isn't about a good drawing. This is about an exercise and a practice. So have fun. Once you get it done, post it in the Facebook group and the Messenger group. We'll see you next Tuesday.